Well, for this deep dive, we're going to unpack like the most useful stuff about how to actually, boost your immune system, specifically for women. Like, what are the things we can actually do? Because we want to make sure you come away feeling informed and empowered about this, like how to take control of your own immune health.
Absolutely.
All right, so first things first.
Yeah.
The immune system is kind of like this silent guardian, right?
Yeah.
It's always there working behind the scenes, but we only really think about it when we get sick.
Right.
But the articles you shared really emphasize how important it is for women especially.
Yeah. I mean, it's your body's defense system, right?
Right.
It's what protects you from all the, nasty bugs and viruses and all that.
Exactly.
And for women, there are so many things that can affect your immunity.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the things that are specific to women?
Well, hormones are a big one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like throughout your life, your hormones are constantly fluctuating,
Right.
With your period, pregnancy, menopause, all of that.
Right.
And those fluctuations can actually weaken your immune system. And then on top of that, women tend to just have a lot on their plates.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Juggling work, family life.
It never ends.
Yeah. And all that stress can also suppress your immunity.
So basically, it's like a double whammy.
Exactly.
Hormones and stress.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of women don't really realize how important their immune system is until things start going wrong.
Right.
Like they might get sick more often or have less energy or just feel run down all the time.
Yeah. And those can all be signs that your immune system needs some extra support.
Okay, so let's talk about those signs.
Sure.
Like, what are some of the red flags that women should watch out for?
Well, the most obvious one is getting sick all the time.
Right, like if you're constantly catching colds or getting the flu.
Yeah. And if it seems like you're always the one getting sick in your family or friend group,
Yeah.
that's definitely a sign that your immune system might be struggling.
Okay, what else?
Well, another big one is fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling tired all the time.
Yeah, even if you're getting enough sleep,
Right.
if you're just constantly drained and have no energy, that could be a sign that your immune system is working overtime.
Wow, I never realized that.
Yeah. And then there are some less obvious signs too.
Like what?
Well, some of the articles talked about digestive issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you have frequent bloating or constipation, that could actually be linked to your immune system.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's all connected.
That's fascinating.
And then there's slow wound healing.
Okay.
So if you get a cut or scrape and it takes forever to heal,
Yeah.
that could be another sign.
Interesting.
And then there's inflammation,
Okay.
which can manifest in a lot of different ways.
Like how?
Well, it could be joint pain or muscle aches,
Yeah.
or even skin problems like rashes or dryness.
So basically, if you're noticing any of these things,
Yeah,
it's probably a good idea to pay attention to your immune health.
exactly.
And the good news is there are a lot of simple things you can do to boost your immunity.
Right.
So let's talk about those.
Okay.
Like, what are some of the top tips from the articles?
Well, the first one is diet.
Of course.
You know you are what you eat.
So true.
And eating a healthy diet is one of the best things you can do for your immune system.
Okay, so what kinds of foods are we talking about here?
Well, the articles mentioned a bunch of different things.
Like what?
Well, citrus fruits are a good one.
Oh, yeah, those are packed with vitamin C,
Exactly.
which is good for immunity.
Right. And some of the articles also talked about how citrus peels have flavonoids.
Flavonoids.
Yeah, they're these plant compounds.
Okay.
And some studies have shown that they might have antiviral effects.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so don't just throw away those peels.
Good to know.
And then there are leafy greens, like spinach, kale, collard greens.
Right.
They're all full of vitamins and antioxidants.
And those are good for fighting off free radicals.
Exactly.
Okay, what else?
Well, garlic is another good one.
Oh, yeah, garlic is like a natural antibiotic.
Right, it's been used for centuries to boost immunity.
I love garlic.
Yeah. And then there's yogurt,
Okay.
which is a great source of probiotics.
And probiotics are good for gut health,
Exactly.
which is also linked to immunity.
Right. We'll talk more about that later.
Okay, sounds good.
And then lastly, there are nuts,
Okay.
like almonds, walnuts, pecans.
Right.
They're all good sources of healthy fats and vitamins.
Perfect.
So those are just a few examples.
Great. So it sounds like eating a rainbow of fruits and vegetables is key.
Yeah, and making sure you're getting enough protein and healthy fats, too. And don't forget about hydration.
Oh, yeah. That's important
Yeah, you need to drink plenty of water throughout the day.
to flush out toxins.
Exactly.
Okay, what else?
Well, exercise is another big one.
Oh, yeah, I know I should exercise more.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Okay, good.
Just 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week can make a big difference.
And that helps to improve circulation.
Right, which allows your immune cells to travel throughout your body more easily.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's sleep.
Yeah, sleep is so important, but it's so hard to get enough sometimes.
I know, but you really need to try.
Like, how much sleep should we be aiming for?
Most adults need around 7 and 8 hours per night. And when you don't get enough sleep, your immune system weakens.
Making you more susceptible to getting sick.
Exactly.
And then there's stress.
Ugh, yes, stress.
It's everywhere.
It really is, and it's so bad for your immune system.
Yeah, I know. Chronic stress can really suppress your immunity.
Right, so it's important to find healthy ways to manage your stress.
Like what?
Well, there are a lot of different things you can try.
Like what?
Well, meditation is a good one,
Okay.
or yoga, or deep breathing exercise.
Right. Those are all good for relaxation.
Exactly.
And then there's just taking time for yourself.
Yeah, doing things you enjoy.
Right.
Like reading a book, or taking a bath, or spending time with friends.
Those are all great ideas.
And then lastly, don't forget about basic hygiene.
Oh, yeah, like washing your hands.
Exactly. That's so important.
It really is. It's one of the simplest but most effective ways to prevent the spread of germs.
So wash your hands frequently and thoroughly.
Yes, especially before you eat or after you use the bathroom.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But what about some more specific recommendations?
Well, the articles talked about a few things.
Okay, like what?
Well, supplements were mentioned a lot.
Oh yeah, like vitamins and minerals.
Exactly.
Okay, so which ones are particularly good for immune health?
Well, vitamin C is always a good one.
Right.
And then vitamin D
Okay.
and zinc
Okay.
and probiotics.
Those are all good for gut health.
But it's important to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplements.
Right, they can help you figure out what's right for you.
Okay, what else?
Well, vaccinations are another big one.
Oh, yeah, those are important for preventing specific diseases.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there's gut health.
Right, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, it's really important for immunity.
Like how?
Well, a lot of your immune cells actually live in your gut.
Really?
Yeah, and when your gut microbiome is healthy,
Meaning it has a good balance of bacteria.
right, it helps to train those immune cells and produce short-chain fatty acids,
Okay,
which have anti-inflammatory effects.
interesting.
So eating probiotic-rich foods can be really helpful.
Okay.
And then lastly, some of the articles mentioned herbal remedies.
Oh, yeah, like echinacea and elderberry.
Exactly.
Those are supposed to be good for colds and flu.
Right, but again, it's always best to talk to your doctor before trying any new herbal remedies.
Okay, so it sounds like there are a lot of different options.
There are.
But the key is to find what works best for you
Exactly.
and to talk to your doctor to make sure you're doing everything safely.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked about the physical aspects of immunity,
Uh-huh.
but what about the mental and emotional side of things?
Oh, that's so important too.
Yeah, because stress can really take a toll on your immune system.
Absolutely.
And when you're not feeling well physically,
Mm.
it can be hard to stay positive.
Right. It's all connected.
So what can we do to support our mental and emotional health?
Well, self-care is huge.
Okay.
Like making time for things that make you happy
Right.
and then getting enough sleep and exercise.
Let's wrap things up here. So I hope this deep dive has been helpful
Me too.
and that you feel empowered to make some positive changes in your life.
Yeah. Even small changes can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.